Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Way of Life. I'm your host, Gus Holland. Today I'm coming back with first episode in a while, and unfortunately, the past few episodes have kind of been empty promises, and it's very frustrating for me and the listeners for sure, but that definitely ends here today. I'm coming back with I think 2 or 3 hours worth of episodes this month alone. This month is almost over, so this is the first bit of that, and then I'm going to just try and make up for lost time, basically. Today, well, just to clear things up, I've been traveling a lot for work, and I've been making massive improvements in my life, and I'm very excited and happy about that. But unfortunately, the podcast has suffered. So I'm back and gonna stick around because this is like what I truly enjoy as far as hobby or passion or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, I wanted to touch on a couple things that were just kind of random, crossed my mind, but they do have to do with the fitness world, fitness industry, personal growth, success, etc. The first one was how the modern world is engineered to make you weak. That's not that's a summation. The world as a whole, you can find good and bad within it, but unfortunately, especially in the US, it is easier, more convenient, typically less expensive to buy food and supplements that don't serve you, serve the greater good for you, either through poor composition, poor quality in ingredients, messed up macros, you name it, basically. It's easier the bad food is easier to get delivered, and it's cheaper to get delivered, and then you're not having to go out and get the food. And I can ramble on and on about it, but overall, we live in the safest and most comfortable era in human history, and somehow we're more exhausted, distracted, and unhealthy than ever. And so a lot of people are pointing it out, but it needs to, I don't know. I mean, if you brought it up in the street, people are like, yeah, like, it doesn't necessarily need more awareness. It needs more action, as far as, I don't know, maybe regulatory at this point, but kind of we have a very sedentary culture in America for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of super hardworking people, but man, I mean, even the commercials and stuff, like, it's all just kind of pushing for that. They just want you to spend more money, and they don't really care how your life goes, So I guess I kind of rambled a little bit, but basically that what I was touching on is convenience versus capability. Modern life removes a lot of friction, which is good, overall. You go back, most people wouldn't want to live 200-300 years ago, and even if they did want to, it would be most likely rougher, so, but comfort is addictive, and so it kind of puts you in a tough spot. Another point I wanted to make was dopamine overload. I mean, social media is, I think, the most prevalent it's ever been. I mean, it hasn't been around, but I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, probably not even 40. So But people are constantly getting stimulation from various things that are trying to grab your attention span. So a constant stimulation from social media or even overstimulation, a lot of those videos end up creating comparisons for you to either compare yourself to others or to, I don't know, it does a lot of, there's some good that comes out of it, there's some bad, basically. But a good exercise to try it out is obviously after this episode, put your phone down, almost, try and get it quiet and everything, and then sit there with your own thoughts and see if you can just do that for like 3 minutes, because you can spend hours scrolling on whatever, TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and so just try and spend 3 minutes with yourself. Not meditation or anything, just like think about your life, or like what's good. Try and keep it positive, think about what's good, what you're grateful for, what you'd like to improve, but keep it positive, like, oh, I'm gonna, by the end of the year, I'm gonna do A, or ABC, whatever, yeah, and just try that, and that's gonna, I mean, obviously, I'm sure some listeners gave an eye roll after, after I said to do that, but think about giving an eye roll about sitting and thinking for 3 minutes, you know. But physical training, mental training, and hard work in general, it becomes harder and harder because your brain is expecting fast rewards. So that's primarily from your attention span getting depleted over time. Like, it's just getting shortened more and more. And so I don't know, whatever. Yeah, think about that stuff, and then if you see it as a true problem and you want to correct it, think about ways you could correct it. You can, maybe I should start reading, just once a week, just to get off the phone, or throw in an extra 30 minutes of exercise, or make a little like fun kind of rule that will help redirect your path toward, I guess, more, not necessarily normal, because the American normal isn't necessarily good, so maybe just redirect yourself toward a path of betterment. But anyways, the other point I wanted to talk about is physical weakness creates mental fragility. So it's been proven over and over, for a very long time. Exercise improves your confidence, it improves your emotional resilience, it increases your physical capabilities, and over time changes your self-perception. So you're, feel good, look good. There's a lot of like little sayings tied to that, but you're, yeah, it's a positive change. Sometimes physical training takes a little bit longer to see positivity from, like day one, you're not, maybe the first week, if you haven't worked out in a year or two or 5 or whatever, your first thing you're going to notice is that you're weak and you're out of shape and you're sore, or it made you tired or whatever. But training teaches delayed gratification. So it's almost kind of fighting against that shortened attention span. And yeah, it just helps. So, but doing hard things makes you tougher. People say it builds character. Another phrase is psychological armor. You're when you feel capable, because of from strength or fitness or endurance or whatever, it's going to shift your mentality about yourself and your predicament and your perception of the world, all for the better. Whether it's like I said, it's a slow change, it's that delayed gratification, but over time you're going to feel much, much better about a lot of things. And plus, I mean, whether you're a social person or not, even working out at the gym alone, you're surrounded by like-minded people for the most part. You have a higher chance of possibly building a friendship, or there's a lot of positives, not besides just personal gain. But so anyways, things that would help you build yourself into a stronger, more capable human being is to walk daily. It sounds crazy, but I've almost always been in some sort of blue collar job. So I've always been outside a lot, walked a lot, jogged a lot, lifted heavy things, gotten a bunch of sun damage. But there's a lot of white collar jobs that the only walking they do is to get to and from the car and into the house, so, or maybe a little bit around the office or anything like that. So literally just saying, hey, I'm going to walk daily is a big shift for a lot of people. You just walk around your neighborhood and say, oh, well, every day before I go inside the house, take my shoes off, get relaxed and unwound for the day. Before I do that, even if I'm in work clothes, I'm just going to walk around the neighborhood for 30 minutes. That'd be literally life-changing for a lot of people. Obviously, lifting weights, I'm always a big proponent of that. Lifting weights are gonna help you gain strength, endurance, and increase your organ health. There's a lot of things. Also, just spending time outside. It's I guess silly, but you spending time outside, you're getting fresh air, you're out there with Mother Nature, you're potentially connecting with some of your community. There's exercises you can do out in the park. If you don't like the gym environment, you can jog in the park, you can walk your dog, you can take advantage of if there's any type of public recreational equipment. There's a lot of things you can do outside. You can literally go fishing. That's more physical activity than just sitting at home. Any type of reducing your digital overload that I was talking about earlier is going to help you. I've seen it a lot, and people spend a lot of time on whatever social media is their preference, and they're just scrolling, and then someone tries to get their attention, whether it's family, friend, coworker, or whatever, and they're real short and snippy and not nice to that person, and it's immediate, and they don't even realize that they're doing it, but it's because they're already overloaded and they're already overstimulated, and then somebody's just asks them a question or something. And so any type of reduction of digital overload is going to shift your life for the better and increase your relationships, basically. But another big, massive thing, especially in America, is trying to eat mostly real food. And that sounds very dystopian, unfortunately, but people harp on macros and micros and nutritional facts and all this all this stuff. And really, if you just said I'm just going to get the basics, it's typically cheaper to even eat healthier if you just do the basics. Get whatever seasonings you want. Get as many seasonings as you want. They make a million different sugar-free sauces, or light, low sugar, low sodium, whatever. You can season your food however you want, and you get whatever proteins you want. And you just try and get the highest quality that you can afford, basically. So you get proteins like meat, meat, chicken. I said meat, red meat, chicken, tofu, seafood, whatever floats your boat, basically. But you get that. You get some complex carbs. You get some simple carbs. You get a lot of vegetables, and you get fruit. And then get whatever supplements you want, protein powder, BCAAs, pre-workout, whatever, that's getting more into the chemical side of things and everything. It's not necessarily quote unquote real food. But if you just did that, even, if you nixed the supplements, just take that out of the picture, just grabbing that stuff and you're not grabbing like super processed sweets and breads and things like that, is going to massively change your life. But I guess it all seems simple when I'm saying it out loud, but the thing to do is to pursue difficult goals voluntarily. And so some of those, even though it sounds simple and it sounds easy and blah, 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 with the way our society is set up, those are difficult goals for a lot of people. So choose one of those things I said, or two or three, or whatever you can handle without burning yourself out, and pursue those voluntarily. Not because I said so, not because of your perception of yourself. Like, you just clear your mind and just choose a couple things and do it. It's very simple. We like to live in either like an analysis paralysis type mode or some sort of struggle mentality of, it's not, you'll stress about walking daily for 30 minutes a day when you could have just walked daily for 30 minutes a day. But a good challenge just to take away from this is 1 hour without your phone every day for the next week. And it doesn't matter. You can literally just take a nap. You can meditate. You could read a book. You could sit in darkness and give your eyes a rest. You could go outside and have a picnic or walk through the park, go work out, whatever. One phone without your phone every day. Put it on the charger or whatever and get away from it. But yeah, that's really about it for the first episode back, I guess. Just some stuff that was on my mind. And yeah, like I said, I've been doing a lot of traveling and it's finally slowing down, and it was all for the better. But more episodes will be coming out. As always, you can check out the website at wayoflifepodcast.com. You can buy merch there and check out, it's a pretty basic site for now. Eventually, I think I'll do some sort of blog or something on there to just give more content out there for the listeners. The other thing is, if you're still listening to this, I do this podcast through Buzzsprout. So Buzzsprout has this not new, but newer feature, and a feature I've never really used, called fan mail. So if you're looking in the description, I think toward the beginning of the description, maybe before or above the description of this podcast, there should be a little link where it says send fan mail. And so feel free to shoot me a message, and whether it's in English or whatever language you speak. I'd love to hear from y'all. I'd love to hear any critiques, constructive criticism. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, whatever. I'm trying to make this very consistent and very good, I guess, for the listener. But anyways, thank you all for listening, and I am sorry it's been so long, but I'll be back soon. All right.